Today, we're taking a look at Claude Code. This is supposedly the best AI coding tool on the market right now. It consistently beats all the software engineering benchmarks, and all the developers I speak to say it's the best. We're going to see if it holds up to some of the hype. In this video, we're going to do a few things. First, I'm going to show you what you can achieve on their free plan. We're going to quickly touch on using it through the web browser, their desktop application. I'm then going to take my credit card out and pay for their pro plan, show you how it fully integrates into your development environment and how you can call it directly within a terminal. And finally, we're going to throw two real-world scenarios at it to see how well it can handle things. Right now, I have a static website where I want to get rid of this Contact Us form. When people click the button to submit their question, it triggers my backend, which is hosted in AWS. There's a Lambda function which executes code. It connects into SES, which is Amazon's simple email service, which then fires off the question directly to myself. Only problem is none of this infrastructure is checked in as code. We're going to see if Claude can do that for us. With that being said, let's jump into it. We're going to start by going to claude.ai. Go ahead and create an account. Once you're signed in, you'll see a screen similar to this. If you've used ChatGPT or Gemini before, this screen will feel really familiar. Just like those other tools, you can directly ask it questions within here. Some things you should know about the platform. Down here, you have the different version of large language model that you can use. On Claude, they have Opus, which is their largest language model. This takes a lot longer for responses, is the most expensive, but gives the best answers. Sonnet is their mid-range one, which is meant to be great for majority of your tasks. They recommend using this for almost everything, and that's why it's the default that's selected straight out of the box. And then you have Haiku. This is the cheapest model to run, and you get the quickest responses, but if you're working with more complex coding tasks, you may get bugs or suboptimal answers. It really depends on the use case that you're kind of working with. I'm going to leave the default for now. The other cool thing with this platform is they have this concept of projects. You can go ahead and create a new project. What it is a collection of all of your chats and your project files and your instructions in one neat little place. One of the problems when you use these AI tools is it's very hard to keep track of individual things you're working on. Every time you start a new conversation with Gemini or ChatGPT, it may or may not remember your previous chats from other sessions. With projects, it brings everything together and solves that for you. So if you're working on a web development project, a mobile app project, you can keep them separate and just click into whichever one as you're working on them. If I head back over to create a new chat, I'm just going to show you a very basic coding example, just so you get a feel of their UI. This is what it looks like. It's even given us instructions on how to run it. With their UI, you do have the ability to just copy all of the code at a click of a button, or you can even download the file locally to your machine. You can also publish it, which will give it a public URL that you can share with other people. That's a quick look at their online platform. Now, when you're using Claude, you probably don't want to have to go to their website every time. One of the nice features is they have an app that you can download directly to your desktop. Head over to this link and download the version for your operating system. The beauty of the desktop app is you can share screenshots directly within the app itself. You can even talk to it using your voice. And with this tool, it can process spreadsheets, PowerPoints, PDFs. While we're specifically just going to code in this video, it is good to know about those other use cases. All right, we're going to go ahead and install the application. Once you've got it installed, you'll see a welcome screen like this. Go ahead and click Get Started, sign in with your account. When you open the app like this, the look and feel and the functionality is pretty identical to their website. You can toggle the sidebar up here. Where this really shines is with the shortcuts. On the Mac, if I hit the Option button twice in a row, for Windows, it might be like the Windows key. You have the ability to directly ask it a question, which will then just open up the app for you. But you can also turn on screenshots and file uploading. Now you do have to grant it access. Now whenever I hit the options button, it has the ability to directly take a screenshot of whatever I'm looking at and share it with Claude Code. The final thing is we can upload code bases directly to the chat, either through files, projects, or directly from GitHub. In this case, I'm going to update our Hello World example, and I'm going to ask it to, can you update this to me again? While you can upload the files, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it can just save it. So I have to go ahead and download it again. If we go into my downloads folder, we should be able to see the jokes Python script there. And I'm just going to run it. It gave us some simple working code, which is really nice. Initial impressions are, it's pretty cool, but we have only given it really basic things so far. I like how quick it is to use, both on the web and their desktop client. But what I really want is for it to be integrated into my development environment. If we head over to their pricing page, it looks like their free plan only lets us chat on the web and on the desktop app. I don't know if it's going to let us directly integrate within the terminal, but let's see before we start whipping out our credit card. I'm going to open up VS Code. Now, if you head over to extensions and have a look for Claude, you can go ahead and download their official extension. You should see an icon pop up in the top right-hand corner like this. If we click on it, it'll open up this screen. Yep, it looks like we need a subscription. I'm going to click my fingers, pay them some money, and sign up for the Pro plan. Okay, I'm now on the Pro plan, so let's go ahead and click subscription. It's also worth mentioning when it comes to their Pro plans or subscriptions, you do have the option to go with their standard pricing plans. This is the one I went with, but you can also use their API. They have pricings available on their website, and this is very much a pay-as-you-go model. If you're just mucking around and you think you're going to use far less than $17 a month, you may be better off using the API, but you will have to keep track of your usage to make sure you don't blow through lots of money. All right, we're going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to show you how this works from a UI perspective. So we're going to ask it, instead of making one API call, we're going to make two. Instead of returning a single joke, we're going to ask it to give us two. It'll bring up a prompt like this where it'll show you all of the changes that it wants to make. You can see that it's appended /2 on the end, and it's made a for loop. You're then presented with three options. Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead, but never ask me again. And finally, no. It all depends on how much control you want to have over Claude. I'm going to say yes and don't ask again. It looks like it's done. So we'll go ahead and run, and we should see our two jokes. Working pretty well. Now, there's actually another way you can use Claude. Apart from this extension, you can use it directly within your terminal. Personally, for me, this is what I prefer to do. Personal preference, they're pretty much the same. I just like using it directly within my terminal. You can do that by typing Claude. Set some defaults. To show you the UI differences, I'll just make a quick update. Okay, I'm gonna run it. And we should see 3 jokes, which is really good. Now with Claude, there are special slash functions that you can run. This is really handy, especially when you come to using agents and MCP, which we'll touch on in a future video. But if you're using the API method to authenticate instead of their paid plans, one really handy command is the /cost command. This will show you exactly how much your current session is costing you. That's a quick overview of the UI. Let's actually throw real world problems at this to see how well it performs. I've currently got this static website. It's got HTML, CSS, a little bit of JavaScript, and one of the things I want to get rid of is this contact section. Every now and again, I get spam emails like this from bots that are just automatically crawling my website, and it's a pain. Let's get Claude to fix it. We've got my website downloaded locally. If I open up the index.html file, there it is there. We can see that contact form that we want to get rid of. So I'm going to tell Claude exactly what we want to do and see what it comes back with. It comes back with a list of tasks that it's going to perform for you, and it tells you exactly what it's doing at each step of the way. I'm going to let it go ahead and make those changes. It's good to see that it's also recognized, hey, it's removed this contact us section. I need to remove it from the navigation links at the top. And it's also removed the JavaScript reference, which is good. And yeah, I'll let it remove these files for now. Now, I do have to say this is the first task that has taken quite a while to execute. Everything else in this video has been really quick and snappy, but this has been executing for about 2 minutes now. It is nice that it tells you how long the task took, especially when it gets hung up like it did before. All right, it seems to suggest that it's all done. We'll go ahead and refresh the website. We can see the contact menu is gone. Everything else is still in place. And it's working perfectly. Awesome, it was able to do that perfectly. On to task number 2, which is creating the Lambda function, which will connect into Amazon simple email services to forward a user's message onto my inbox. Even though I've removed that contact form entirely, it's quite handy to have this code on standby in case it's a feature I want to bring back sometime in the future. At the moment, I have the Lambda function and the code already deployed into my AWS account, but it was manually done. That is, I clicked buttons and nothing is checked into Git or deployed via IAC, infrastructure as code. And that's what I'm going to get Claude to try and do. It's created a Lambda function and given us some commands to deploy it. We're going to deploy this in the North Virginia region, which is US East 1, and we're going to run that command. If I fire up CloudFormation, give it a refresh, we can see it is currently creating our resource. We can see that successfully deployed. We'll send a test event. And I can see it came through successfully. This is incredible. I do have to say it has lived up to the hype. For coding, my initial impressions are this is far better than ChatGPT and Gemini. Now, obviously, we only gave it some very basic examples, and even when it came to the cloud infrastructure, generally cloud infrastructure is well documented. I'm sure even if I threw an application load balancer or something like an EKS cluster, Claude would be able to handle it. I will test that out in a future video. I do wonder how it performs with more complex applications where there aren't clear examples to pull from online. That will be interesting to dive into. One thing you need to know about is the usage. If you've signed up for the Pro plan like I just did, there's a fixed amount that you can use Claude for. They have set weekly limits that you can use, both for all models and also Opus only. The weekly limits are fine. We've been mucking around for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and we've only used 2% of our weekly limits. However, there's also a current session limit. They artificially cap how much you can use per session so you don't blast through your entire week's worth of usage in a single session, which is thoughtful, but we've only been mucking around for about half an hour and we've blown through 17% on a very simple example. I imagine this might be a frustrating bottleneck, especially if you want to just code for hours on end. That's just something to be aware of. If you have any questions about Claude at all, leave a comment down below. And if there's any projects or ideas you want me to test this out against, let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.